Can the Viltrumites from Invincible survive in Doom's hell? Well, in this video, I will examine the Viltrumites from the comics to see if they could survive being sent to Doom's hell. Let's start with the Viltrumites. In the comics Invincible, the Viltrumites are a powerful alien race that stands at the top of every other race because they are that powerful. They conquer planets and seize the inhabitants in order to expand their empire. And how strong are they exactly? For speed, the Viltrumites are fast, the travel speeds being massively faster than light. Their combat speed, although much slower, is still a couple times faster than light. For durability, they are able to take ordnance and attacks that are able to destroy continents, but their durability, even for the stronger ones like Nolan and Mark, and even Conquest, are capped at no more than low planetary level, with Mark, Nolan, and another Viltrumite, Thetis, only being able to bust through a planet after it was destabilized and weakened. They also have a lot of endurance because they can take a lot of damage that would be fatal to most other organisms, and they could still recover and regenerate that part of the body from this, given that they're not sick with virus. So even if you disembowel or tear them apart, as long as they're kept out of harm's way for a few days, they can fully recover that damage to fight again. For combat ability, they are able to dish out what they can take. This power can be seen when Nolan and Mark both got rid of large asteroids coming towards Earth. And again, with the planet feat where they destroyed it, even though they did get a lot of help from this guy right here. But even with all this power, the Viltrumites still have a weakness, with that being high-pitched sounds that can disrupt their balance and ability to move around and fly. Now let's move on to Hell, Doom Eternal's Hell. Now for this part, I'll exclude, the stronger ones like the Icon of Sin and Davoth for a few key reasons. One is that it would be unlikely that they would confront them, considering Doom's hell is infinite and very vast. And two, they're just way too strong and would solo even the Invincible verse incredibly easily because of how strong they are. So let's just stick with the usual hell experience you'd be subjected to. Let's begin with hell itself. This place is the usual fire and dread that you'd expect from hell, but it exists as its own realm separate from the other realms in Doom. Some key features of being here are losing your sanity, your soul drains and corrupts, and your willpower will dwindle as your body slowly decays. There are other details, but let's keep it simple. Now, the demons, starting with the lower tier demons from Doom Eternal, are the Zombie Soldier, Imp, and Gargoyle, and, a couple others. For durability, these low-level demons are described as having skin that is tougher than steel, and combine this with the thick musculature and you have a being which can range from small building level durability to large building level durability, depending on how you interpret the lore. And for combat ability, these demons scale to about the same level as their durability. Now for speed, it is somewhat vague as to how fast they truly are, but from a couple forums, people argue and mostly say that these demons can range from the speed of sound to hypersonic speeds, or maybe even light speed. Moving on to the middle tier of demons, for speed they are somewhat the same, with the Mancuus being a bit slower than the other demons for obvious reasons. And for durability, these demons are typically scaled at around large building level to large city level, or a little beyond that. Their strength is also somewhat at that threshold as well. And above these demons are the high tier demons. These are some of the most powerful demons from hell that are not titans. They are a bit faster than the lower level demons, but not by much. For combat power and durability, these scale to continental level to moon level, with again some debate in the forums whether they may be a little bit stronger than that. And lastly, for all the common hell demons you'd find in hell, there are the titans. They are easily planet level to even solar system level beings that just by walking around can turn planets into hellscapes and are feared by every other demon that is not a titan. And the only way to really defeat them is to seal them using a crucible, which is a very rare artifact. Now, could the Viltrumites survive in Doom's hell? Let's first see if they can handle the demons. A Viltrumite is stronger than any low-tier demon. They can overpower them in speed, durability, and power, and they can handle their ranged attacks, whether it be a gun or a fireball. And this is mostly thanks to their special atoms, which they can consciously, control to adapt to various combat situations, and even regenerate their body, which is how they can do it. And as for the guns from the zombie soldiers, they should pretty much be able to tank that because those guns aren't very strong. They're strong because the Doomslayer has them and he can power them up with his will, but the zombie guys can't do the same. So these guns are about equal to the very advanced weaponry that is shown in the Invincible series, which Viltrumites have been shown to shrug off. Now for the middle tier demons, the Viltrumites would still clear them due to still scaling above them for speed, strength, and durability. But that is not to say that they wouldn't have some issues with them, considering how many demons there are and how relentless even these ones could be. But when comparing your average Viltrumite to the higher tier demons, that's where the real fun begins. High tier demons from Doom are comparable to Viltrumites in both durability and strength, although it may be, on average, a little bit less. Viltrumites are faster, but the demons are also far more numerable. This would create major issues when trying to survive in Hell, because the demons are relentless and vast, and since they just keep on coming back, and there's, as I said, a lot of them, they're gonna get overwhelmed. But you have the stronger Viltrumites, such as Conquest or Thrag, which they should be able to hold them off, and help out the other Viltrumites. That is if they care enough to do it, because they like killing off the weaker ones. But then comes Hell itself, which, if it were not for the fact that Hell drains your mind, soul, and willpower, the Viltrumites would be, somewhat okay in Hell. But with all that afflictions that just happen by being in Hell, they would start to lose their sanity and even maybe turn on each other as they become more animalistic and deranged. They will also start to lose some of their strength, making them more vulnerable to attacks from the demons as time goes on. Their superior speed will only keep them alive for so long. As this starts to dwindle, the demons will start to close in on them, making them pay for all the bad things that they did to countless civilizations and people. If you know, you know. Oh, and the Titans. They all get bodied by one Titan. This is because the Titan is a lot stronger and a lot more durable than them. Now, of course, they are much faster than the Titan, but since being in Hell will drain them, mind, body, and soul, they will eventually slow down to the point where the Titan can easily pick them off. And they could beat the Titan if they were able to get a hold of a Crucible, because they are also fast enough to stab it with it, but it is very unlikely that a Viltrumite could get a hold of a Crucible and even know what the thing does in time for them to actually defeat one singular Titan out of the many that there are. So, can the Viltrumites survive in Doom's Hell? No, not really. If it's not the demons that kill them, it's Hell itself that will turn them into husks of their former selves, amalgamating them into Hell itself as they become corrupted and more demon-like, as seen with the humans that become zombies.